I finally got the rest of the stuff in, so we're gonna profile Lianorn really quick. Lianorn is not exactly that great, but it's a very fun deck, and I enjoy playing it, as I do most Stokia decks. This is my personal take on it. I think this is the best way to play it before set 7 drops, and we get a lot better cards. So we'll start with the ride line. We have the one starter, one copy of Gracia, the one copy of Rectina, and then the trial deck Leonorn. Gracia, if when a grade 2 rides over it, Rectina, you call her out from your soul, so you have just a guaranteed booster, which is really nice. Rectina, she has an ability where, like, if you have 3 or more, I think it is, if your back row has 3 or more rear guards, that this gains the boost ability, which is cute. It doesn't really come up ever. You have a lot better things to boost your Vanguard with. But she has the ability to, when Leonorn rides over, Soul Blast 1, and you're going to call a grade 1 from your drop zone. Basically, this ride line is going to guarantee you at least have 2 of your grade 1s in the back row, which is really nice. And then we have the trial deck Leonorn. I'm not going to go over her rearguard skill just yet, because I'll explain that in a little bit. But her main skill that she shares with the other Leonorn is when she swings, you Soul Blast 1, discard a card. You can rest any of your rearguards in the back row with the boost ability, and they all boost her in one battle. She gets a drive check, and at the end of the battle, she'll restand 2 of those. Yeah, you're playing Dimensional Police in the Stokia Nation. That's pretty much what this deck is. The important part that you need to know about her skill and the other Leonorn's skill is, because some people aren't aware of this yet, when you apply trigger effects, if your opponent makes it like 2 to pass or whatever, you want to slap it on one of the back row corner ones. So like if I'm swinging with Leonorn like this, and I have, sure, we'll do this, right? You want to put it like on one of your corners. That way, she'll still get the power, but even if you whiff your trigger, at the end of the battle, these restand with that extra power, and it's really good. Yeah, that's the ride line. It's super simple. Not super great, but is very, very simple. We have a handful of grade 3s because this deck didn't really get a lot of grade 2s. 3 more copies of the trial deck Leonorn. So she has another ability, which is I should have explained that here, but that's fine. The other Leonorn, this one, Grand March, she counts as a Persona ride over it. So, or when this one goes over this, it counts as a Persona ride. It doesn't work the other way around. So we play 3 of this so we can just have higher chances to Persona ride, because this deck needs good numbers. Her rearguard skill that comes up pretty often actually is when she is boosted, she gets +5. So she swings for 18 plus, whatever boost. If you have an 8K booster, that's 26. If you have a 13, that's 29. Right? Did I math that wrong? I probably mathed that wrong. 31 is for the 13K booster. But yeah, we want to see Persona rides in this deck. And then Grand March Leonorn. So she has the ability, once per turn, you can counterblast 1, draw a card, and then call a card from your hand, or then you have to discard one. You'll normally always call a card because you always have something that you want to call. And then she has the same ability with resting your back row, getting an extra drive check, all that. We don't play her in the ride because I really value the Persona rides in this deck. Otherwise, like, you just don't pop off as much. So we really want that Persona ride. So we just kind of max out on it, especially because we don't have a lot of great rear guards yet. And our last 2 grade 3s, where'd they go? What the heck? I had them right here. Oh, there they are. 2 Clapping Dragon. Clapping Dragon, if you're one place from hand, if you have 3 back row grade 1s, you can counterblast 1, draw a card, and it gets 10k if your opponent's at grade 3. Not super great, but it is like a break even, and we don't really use counterblast other than Leonorn and one of the grade 1s, so it's okay to run. we're really waiting on that set 7 stuff to make this deck a lot better, but it's still very solid for what it is right now. And then we only play one grade 2, which is, I think it's Crest, right? No, it's Creed Assault. So Creed Assault is a card that everyone thought was super useless when it first came out, and it kind of was. But um, it can't attack unless something else is restood, and then it swings for it gets plus 10 just if it attacks Vanguard. So it's really nice because you're going to swing with your Lianorn Vanguard, and then you boost with 3, untap 2 of your back row, and then this is going to be like, well, I can attack now. And a 20k beater is just really solid. So that is why we have that. Now on to the mess of grade 1s I play. So 4 copies of Petal. Oh gosh, it's performing Petal or Petal as it's supposed to be Diantha. So she is, if you have 3, I think it's 3, grade 1 or less, she gets plus 5, kind of chill. But if she's placed from hand, you can counterblast 1 and bring back a grade 3 or less from your drop zone if you're at grade 3. This is really good because your opponent is obviously going to see your Creed Assaults and be like, well, I don't want you to have that. Well, they get rid of that. Next turn, you just call this, bring it back. It's just really good overall. The next most important one is Biara. So Biara is if she, not once per turn by the way, she boosts a successful hit, you put a card from hand into soul, and then that's grade 2 or less and you draw a card. Helps you filter your deck, it helps you get soul, which you really need soul because you burn through it pretty quick. And perfect guards. Perfect guards are very important in this deck. Not a lot to say on those. It doesn't matter if you have if you have this or not. You could play 4 of these and it's not bad. I just have the extra copy, so we're gonna rock it. And then I have a couple more grade 1s, but they're this is like I think this is like a preference on what you want to do. 3 copies of Urgula. Urgula has this really funny role in the deck where not only can it move stuff around from your field in case you want to, have different things boosting Lianorn. You could also just set this behind Lianorn, and then if your opponent's playing something like Jewel, they have to look at you and be like, well, I can't turn your Vanguard to 1k power, or sorry, actual 1 power, and it makes your matchup a lot easier. It's not it's not great, but it's pretty solid for what it is. This will probably get cut down to 2 maybe later. I'm not sure yet. And then 1 copy of Purity. She's just a 13k if you have more 3 or more grade 1s or less. I didn't really want to play a 4th copy of this because I play 3 and I see all 3 like every game I play, so it's like you don't really need the extra one. And 1 copy of the Saxophone Man. The Saxophone Man is awful, but we have the high rarity version of him, so instead of playing 2 of this, we're just playing instead of playing 2 of Purity, we're playing 1 of him. He has a very funny interaction with like the overdress matchups where you can look at your opponent and be like, I see you have that nice Verena that you stacked up. Well, now it's gonna have to be guarding me. Like I said, you're not gonna use this too often because you really need to conserve your soul. But like, if you have enough soul, you can just fire it off. It also is very annoying to Bastion players because you're gonna force their Aldens or whatever they want to keep on the board into the guard circle. Triggers, Overtrigger. Overtrigger still exists. We still play Overtrigger. Not a lot to say there. 8 crits. We want to play 8 crits because we want our opponent dead. We don't really have... We have power. We don't have crit damage. So we want crit damage. And then I have issues with deck outs, so I play 3 of the Frenzied Harris. Front triggers are very good in this deck. They're also 20k shields. And 4 heals. You want to heal, so we play 4 heals. Yeah, that's about it for this one. Like I said, this deck gets a heck of a lot better in set 7 because we get things that allow us to multi-attack, and that potentially means that we can throw in Inlet Pulse in this deck, which is just one of the really good generic Stokia cards, as seen by Rorwa, Magnolia, Flagberg, whenever Bushiroad feels like it, Zorga. Yeah, it's a very straightforward deck. You just want to kind of be aggressive with this deck, push them early on, so you can really force out the perfect guards. Otherwise, they're just gonna take all your hits, and it sucks. Yeah, that's all we got for this one. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.